Hey, it's Thunderbolts Eve, and you stumbled upon Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave, for tonight. Joining me is, of course, artist, writer, creator of the syndicated comic strip Sour Grapes, starring Aesop, the miserable flying dog with his pet Cloud Ominous. Tim Jones joined me tonight. How you doing, sir?
How are you doing? I'm doing all right.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, man. I got a great Star Wars series going. We got what looks to be potentially at least a decent Marvel movie coming tomorrow. And of course, with today's subject matter, which I'll get into later, I'm pretty giddy. But as far as you and your world, Tim, Sour Grapes, how's that going? What's the latest and greatest in your world? Oh, by the way, before I get too far in there, I do have to thank you as you sent me these wonderful, and I was as well as, of course, this wonderful thing. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
Which I know I wanted to like kind of do something, but I was running out of time, and B, the flying mechanic wasn't working very well. But we'll figure that out and do something here.
No, I
Um,
didn't realize the girl that makes those. Um, so when she made Ominous, she gave me these little stands that you can like.
okay,
It looks like he's floating. So
yeah, yeah,
do that. I didn't
yeah. I
get.
was trying to do some fishing line thing, but again, I'll figure it out.
So I'm
But
glad you asked because um, this came out.
yes,
My new one. I got it early, so I got it in time for free comic book day on Saturday.
yeah,
Be a CH2 collectibles in Jewett City, Connecticut, and so I'm really happy with this. Um, the latest and greatest compilation of sour grapes. It's a bigger format
yeah.
than
Definitely looks like it.
and so people at the home will be able to see it better. You know,
Yeah.
and so yeah, featuring Aesop, the miserable flying dog, as you mentioned. Things are looking up, and just kind of deal going
Oh,
on.
nice. Okay. Yeah. It's got the
The black
landscape.
and color version, so that's
Nice.
different. And so we did that throughout the book, and I did a little um, progression of the cover when I drew it. So it goes from pencil to ink to that, and some nice things people said,
Yeah. That's
which was
always great.
very nice. It's amazing what AI can do, and
Right.
and there's an actual ad in there for the Sour Grapes Yacht Club soda. Shameless plug. And
Yeah. No, I mean, that's got to be great, though. Imagine, you have a character, it's on the bottle of a soda now. I mean, that you've made it.
well, here it is. Here, see,
Yeah.
all merched out, man.
Yeah,
And
no, that's the way to be. I know if I ever go to I guess I'm an Ohioan, so we refer to it as the New England area. I definitely hope to come across some of that and get some. But hey, we'll all be at Comic Con, uh, so we might have to make a couple pit stops and get some sour grape soda. Kids
yeah,
love sour shit.
yeah, it's just a little bit of sour. You know, if people like it, so that's
Yeah,
it. And I try and bring at least a case or two with me to any Comic Con I do.
yeah,
I had it in New Jersey last weekend at Super Retro. No, not Super Retro. Super Jersey Expo. So a lot of Comic Cons with super in it. It's kind of confusing. Um,
sure.
but this was Super Jersey Comic Expo, and that was down in Jackson, New Jersey. A miserable 4.5 hour drive, but it wasn't too bad. It's just George Washington Bridge can't suck enough. But so I brought that down. People liked it and stuff like that. So yeah, it goes over well with the folks at the shows. So
I bet.
and
Bet. Well, hey,
huh?
like, so how many stores is that in though? Like, I know you take them to the cons, but like, how many stores?
Well, Yacht Club Soda um, Company has distributors or distributioners, and so they uh, bring it to the existing customers. So stores, grocery stores, restaurants, and I'm finding out that it's in breweries, which
Oh
is
wow.
a word I can't say. And
Right.
so that's cool. I went to a couple breweries um, and checked it out and that. And so it's starting to pop up everywhere. This is the busy season for them too. Um, so people are taking it on, which is great. So that part of it, I don't have to do; they do. So
Yeah.
that's a plus. But it came out last fall, um, right around Halloween time, and that was the slow season, and it did really well. So I'm excited to see what happens in the uh, the regular season. So you never know.
Well, I want to keep it. I want to see it eventually come my way in Ohio. I know it's got a little bit of wet Midwest for you, but
Well, you know what's
drink.
exciting? Club Soda will deliver anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to. What's it called again?
Yacht it so it's yachtclubsoda.com.
Right. Yachtclubsoda.com and order yourself some
Yep.
sour grapes pop.
Yep, they're right here in Rhode Island where I live and breathe
Nice.
and learn how
All
to
right, Tim. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said and live and learn how to say the word brewery.
Brewery. Yeah.
Can't do it.
I'm perfect at it, but I freak with them a lot. So. Or check in with the faithful here in the chat. So, hello, Kassan Ward says, "Hello, fellas. I didn't watch the entire Andor episode 4. We can't talk about Andor today. Sorry, joking. Well, no, I mean, you're not far off because, I mean, I've watched everything, but Tim hasn't. But I'm definitely going to do a spoiler free review of episodes 4, 5, and 6, as well as I want to hear Tim's thoughts about what he has seen so far. So, Kassan's hoping that we make the stream last until midnight tonight. Fat chance. Have to wake up and get the kids up tomorrow.
Very fat
There you
chance.
go.
Wagobi.
Right,
So
right. And then Kassan again, Tim, you need to see if Yacht Club Soda will do a special run where they put a panel on the bottle, something like 12 panels over the year, make it a collectible, and panels tell a unique story. Okay,
well,
doesn't seem like
we
a bad idea to me, but
are going to come up with a new label that will include a full strip. So maybe
nice.
somehow they have the technology for that. So
Yeah.
gonna start working on that. That would be cool. Kind of like a bazooka bubblegum kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Where they used to have those jokes on there, that no one thought were funny.
It's nothing like making people laugh and giving them gas at the same time.
Exactly.
You know,
Only if they could do that with broccoli.
yeah,
But
sour, you know, you never know.
uh, but yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it before we get into some news and whatnot. So Andor, uh, what are your thoughts on it, Tim? Just first and foremost, what are your thoughts on what you've watched so far? How do you
Well,
like it?
are we in spoilers?
Yeah, at least for at least for the first 3 episodes.
All right. So,
Yeah, because we've
so
already done that.
you know, the I enjoyed it because of the action part of it. I was going in expecting like really boring stuff, and then all of a sudden he's flying around in a um, tie fighter interceptor kind of thing, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. So I enjoyed it. Watched all 3 episodes back to back. I did get a little confused, which is easy for me, and
Right. Same here.
but uh, you know the wedding dancing kind of bugged me, and it
Yeah.
seemed like they had 3 things going on at once, and I was trying to
Yeah.
put it all together. It was like the well dressed people, and then there was the people in the field,
Yeah.
and then it was, you know, Caspian and his stuff going on. So I couldn't really put it all together, but I tried.
Yeah.
And but I mean, overall, I had fun with it, and I think once I watch episode 5, 6, was it 5, 6, and 7's out now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, yeah, I mean, I obviously I like the show, but I gotta tell you, and I think the pacing of the show was much better than the first season, which was still a great season. But boy, them dropping this 3 episodes at a time it's a double-edged sword because I'm not a binger per se.
yeah,
And so I really am like, and now that I basically we do the show on Wednesdays, the day after it's released. Um, it's like, oh boy, okay, I have 3 hours of Andor to get through here, which is great. But boy, it's a double edged sword because I appreciate them releasing it in arcs, basically releasing a movie every week.
yeah,
Um, if so, that's the other side of the sword for me is okay, that is cool. The way that they're pacing the stories and we're getting the whole arc and we don't have to wait on, huge cliffhangers. But boy, it just dropping 3 episodes. It's just a little much for me. That's all.
yeah. It's
Uh,
Star Wars diarrhea right now.
yeah,
Dropping the episodes one after the other all at once. So,
yeah,
but I wish I understood it more. But um, I guess, like I said, once I watch more, maybe that'll help. You know.
yeah. I think you will, because like I said, I did watch the newest episodes, and I think that it does a pretty good job of boiling down the situation.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I'd say you definitely would get a little bit more perspective when you finish the rest of the episode. So,
What was
um,
what was? I have a question on it. Can I do that?
hmm
What
yeah, please.
What was up with the mother with the obvious smoking problem with that voice of hers?
Uh,
Was
Zero. Yeah. Do you have any prospects? Yeah. Uh,
thanks.
um. Yeah. That it and even after seeing what I've seen, because they revisit that a little bit
Uh,
in this episode you haven't seen.
uh,
Super weird character. Yeah, I don't know if I don't have any answers for you other than they seem like they're just using her to like sell sympathy for him, or I guess it just, however fucked up he becomes, or maybe he becomes a good guy. I don't know. And we just and I guess they feel it's important that we understand that
yeah,
he's got this mother that's just, you know, constantly just yentaing him up. It's just just bickering at everything he does and super judgmental. And that's my only answer for you. And I was a pretty long-winded one, but that's that is a really crazy character in the series. And yeah, just the way
yeah,
she talks.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I've never heard anybody else in the Star Wars series. Yeah.
I'm glad that what's the girl's name that with the long
Daedra.
long black hair?
Oh, long black hair. Oh shit. Yeah, it's big. He keeps calling her Biggs, I think.
uh, well, that whole scene where she's fighting that guy that um
Yeah, the rape scene is
and
yeah.
kicks his ass. I thought that was great.
Oh, Kassan's got us here. Bix. Bix, okay.
Oh, Bix. Okay, close enough. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
take it.
a lot of people died in those three episodes.
Yeah,
I feel bad for those actors and actresses. Their careers, that
yeah.
was
Done. Yeah. Back to the extra pool.
yeah. You get 10 lines and you die. That's it.
It's like it's like a guy on the old Star Trek. Hey, I'm wearing a red shirt. Shit. It's like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Yep. All the red shirts. Dead. Yeah.
Oh, and so you'll be wearing the red shirt. Oh, okay. Let me get the resume back out there. All right. Well, I'm definitely glad you enjoyed it because I love the series. And I am, as I've described myself on the show, like a power porn guy. So I'm not super always into the talkie, but for some reason, for this show, I'm just super interested in everything that's developed and they had to say.
Yeah.
Um, so moving on, I guess to the next my spoiler free review of the next three episodes, episodes 4, 5, and 6. I'm definitely gonna say it's still great. You're gonna still love it. The pacing continues to be good. As far as between the the little action exposition, I think of still a very good blend and pace throughout the story. Um, I am going to do spoiler free, of course, but I do want to say that there's been a Legends incident, that from the Legends story that it's been speculating that this show will show. Didn't do that, but it did make that certain event like canon. So maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that. It's called the Gorman Massacre. That's the planet they're on that they're doing the protesting and those creepy fucking spider things are like, their national animal. So that already happened. Thronkill, our esteemed member here, smashing some Gormans. Yeah, that's all we'll say about that. So that incident from Legends has been made canon, which is very very interesting. Continues to be a dark series. We've dealt with rape. Now we're going to deal with some drug use, which is not outside the realm for Star Wars. Death sticks is a thing. And actually, when Dark Horse had the Star Wars comic properties and the Star Wars Legacy run, the main character had like a drug problem. In fact, he would like get high, and his great uncle or great grandfather Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost would come and lecture him. Interesting series. Um, so it's staying in the dark. It's not really lightening up, which is to be expected. Um, Outside of that, there is a lesbian kiss that I'm surprised people haven't complained about. I no problem with it, but as far as I'm kind of keeping my ears to the ground on that one, I think. But luckily, the one thing I love, Tim, is like shows like X-Men '97 and shit like that, were like it exhibits all the wokeness and shit that people like to make videos about, but they don't because it's so fucking good. They just shut the fuck up, and that's how I feel this show is. But uh, nonetheless, there is a scene there that maybe become controversial, although I don't think it should. So yeah, I mean, I think it's still great. Again, it continues kind of a story arc, which is nice,
Mhm.
and I'm excited. I just don't need 3 episodes a week.
Yeah,
That's
that's that's a little much, but
yeah. All right. Well, hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get us a little self promotion here, and then we're gonna go right into our nerd news. We got a couple items there, And we'll see you on the other side.
All right.
Darth Don here. And you must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gundog named Brie Larson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show. All right, so let's get into it here. So, if you're a frequenter of this podcast, you know how absolute craze balls I am for anything that doing with giant mechs, combining mechs, whatever you have it, I love it. And on top of that, when I was a very young kid, I used to love this Saturday cartoon show called Voltron. In fact, I think I was more of a Voltron fan than a Transformers, but Transformers was kind of bigger and stuck around longer. And Voltron was a little bit more obscure, although we've definitely had successful iterations of it since then. But nonetheless, so this kind of went under my radar. As much as I like Voltron, I saw some things about a live action Voltron movie, but I kind of wrote it off. Oh, this is some internet bullshit again. Because I fell for that Cloverfield movie. There were, I don't know if you remember that movie or the rumors before it came out that it was, some sort of Voltron adaptation, which completely was wrong. But not only are we getting a live action Voltron that has begun production, but as you can see on the screen there, it will star none other than Henry Cavill, who, is just like the Midas touch when it comes to geek shit. So,
Did they say what he like? Is he going to be like in the head, or is he going to be like a left or right fist or a foot?
he is said to be the protagonist, the main guy, which is going to make, which I would imagine that is Keith,
Okay.
who forms the head. So
All right.
technically, he's the Black Lion pilot, even though he wears the Red Lion suit. Which that's the one thing that I never understood about Voltron. Particularly when you juxtapose it to the Power Rangers, who their whole feng shui is matching and whatnot. But in Voltron, the only two people's suits that match their lion is Pidge and Hunk. Otherwise, everyone else is wearing mismatch. They're not matching their. Anyway, I'll never get over that.
What are the two
But
names? I know of Voltron, but what is it?
okay.
Pidge and Hunk.
The pilot of the Green Lion is Pidge. Hunk is kind of like the fatter, strong guy in the Yellow Lion.
Okay.
Then you've got Lance, who's like the hotshot marksman. Now he wears the blue suit, but pilots the Red Lion.
That's confusing.
Then it is, well, wait till we get, okay. So listen, some more confusing. Originally, the first team had a guy named Sven who wore the black suit, but he piloted the Blue Lion.
Wow.
Later in the show, Sven goes away and is replaced by Princess Allura, who wears a pink suit and pilots the Blue Lion.
Wow.
And then you've got Keith, the main guy, who Henry Cavill should be playing, wearing the red suit, but again, he's in the Black Lion. So yeah, I don't know, like if they were just all running to the tunnels and they got confused and they just stuck with it. I don't know, or like Keith, like realized last minute that the red lion wasn't the big leader lion. So I don't know.
It sounds like maybe
Um,
the person running wardrobe is a little confused.
yeah. Um, I mean, if so, it may have something to do with the fact that the Voltron show that we know here in America is actually two Japanese shows spliced into one. But I don't know. It still doesn't explain why that wasn't coordinated. I wonder if they'll do that in the new movie though. Will they, or will they stick with the confusing wardrobe?
It's gonna. I'm anxious to see what they do with a live action Voltron,
Yeah.
robot thing going on.
Did
Will
you watch the original series and like it?
the cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to watch it all the time. Um, but I wonder if the live action Voltron will be like a Pacific Rim kind of look to it, which I
Yeah.
hope it doesn't. But and
Yeah. I hope it looks better than that.
I hope it doesn't rain all the time. For some reason, these movies it rains and
Yeah.
I think that they would rust. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that sounds like it's kind of cool.
Did you watch the most recent animated Voltron on Netflix?
I didn't, and
That's
I want to. I actually forgot about.
yeah. I would recommend it. I
It.
absolutely loved it. So, um,
Cool.
it was great shit. So, yeah, I'm just completely freaking stoked that again we're not only getting an actual Voltron live action, but it just if Henry Cavill is starring in it, to me that just at least signals like they're going to take it seriously. Now, I don't want Snyderverse Dark Voltron. So when I say take it seriously, I don't mean like that
Right.
seriously.
Yeah.
But
Got to have
you know,
some levity to it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So
I'm looking at the graphic in the background behind Henry. So,
yeah.
do you think he'll have his English accent, or will they get rid of it?
I think they will. I don't I don't know. It's a toss up because it's not even on Earth, they're not on Earth. And that's another thing. I hopefully they don't do that crap where it's like they make it like modern, like on Earth. Like no, do the whole um outer space shit. Like don't lowbrow it. Please don't.
Did they give it uh, when it was going to come out?
No, just that it started filming. I thought I saw the target was sometime in 2026. So,
Uh,
but
okay,
I didn't get an official release date. Which hey, I appreciate. Don't don't I don't believe people should give release dates and shit until like they know for sure it's going to happen. So
sure. Well, I'm looking forward
oh
to it.
yeah, for sure. I am. Okay, we got some comments here that I'm going to take this moment to go through. I'm going to start with this one. Don, can you explain why the dark theme was hated in Superman, but it is liked in Andor? I can give my explanation, whether it be the right one. Well, I am just some shithead with a microphone. But from what I gather, particularly from the Superman faithful, that tone in general just doesn't jive with the character.
Right.
Um, and that's really what it comes down to. Star Wars, again, even in its most kiddish form, which the main line movies are for kids, but again, we deal with planets being destroyed, multiple planets being millions of people being destroyed in an instant. Um, but again, it's for kids, so in that universe we can go dark. Just again, as long as it's not a mainline Star Wars. So I think you can just get away with it better there. Um, and our esteemed member Thrawn Kill here is so Thrawn, I'm going to disappoint you here because I've been so busy. So can't wait for Don's reactions to Claremont's comments. I have not seen Claremont's comments. So apparently, again, according to Thrawn Kill, he gave away Avengers Leak. So okay, well, we might have to catch up on that on the next show. But I've been incredibly busy and did not see that.
Hmm.
Um, all right,
Did he say something
Tim.
he's supposed to say?
I mean, sounds like it, but we'll try not to do too much boring podcast here. But let's see here. I can somewhat quickly Google, right? Oh yeah, looks like he dropped some spoilers here, particularly. Okay, well, yeah, wow. All right, we'll maybe talk about that some more. I don't want to read it on air here and make it boring. So cool. All right. So outside of that, Tim,
Yes.
I don't know how much are you into video games at all, past, present, future?
I don't play video games. I did when I was a kid, but and even my daughter has a Nintendo Switch,
Of course.
so I do a lot of watching her play video games, but I don't. I had her down. You know how you can download on the Switch and stuff.
Yep.
So I had her download Galaga,
All right. I see what
and
you're saying.
and
Yeah.
so I have something that my speed can.
Some old Namco
Yeah, because
Namco gems.
she has the Mario Karts and she has the
Yeah.
some Harry Potter game, Hogwarts thing, and I'm just looking at it like this. Ugh, that's not what I grew up with. I'm showing my age. Um, I introduced her to Gallagher and she was all into it, so that's cool.
Nice. Well, I of course have always pretty much been into video games since Atari 2600, pole position, Frogger, Pac-Man, all that shit too. That's absolutely where I started, but I never really let it go, so I've just kind of been around. And I always make sure that we've got a Nintendo system around.
Right.
Particularly you know, because just to kind of preface, why I'm mentioning the fact that the pre-orders for Nintendo Switch broke the internet, completely fucking sold out. Was because people talk a lot of crap about Nintendo, particularly because their hardware isn't what you would consider state of the art. They're considered in many respects like a generation behind.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, look at how like popular their stuff is, their first party games. You maybe can find 10 years later for $5 cheaper, like they hold their value. Their games work, their hardware works, it's quality.
Yep.
Um, I used to work at FunColan and GameStop a long time ago. So I know from my time there that, like, basically, particularly when systems first come out, the company is paying you to have their system. And you go, what are you talking about? Paid 500 fucking bucks for PlayStation 5. What are you talking about? Well, that PlayStation 5 probably cost 600 bucks to make. Well, why would they do that, Don? Well, because they want you to buy the games, they want you to buy the accessories, the subscription services, and all that. Nintendo, on the other hand, has always made money. And particularly with the fact that they're Nintendo, and then here they come, they They do the Pokemon thing, which like 25 years ago, I think it just celebrated an anniversary. They could come out with 10 failed consoles and still be in the black as far as a company.
Yep.
So they're the masters of it because they don't focus on the latest and greatest graphics. They focus on this is a toy. Because you're right, Tim. I'm like, well, I play, but right, I got my PlayStation 5, sure, I got my PC, but you're darn tootin', we got the family Switch, we got umpteen controllers, we're playing the Mario Kart, we're playing the Mario Party, we're having fun, So
When my oldest daughter was here from Ireland, she lives over there. We around Christmas time we had the Mario Kart. We each grabbed, the four of us, my wife, my two daughters,
yeah,
each had the controller and was playing Mario Kart. I had no idea what I was doing. There are so
yeah,
many buttons on those controllers. I just pushed all of them at the same time. And
you're button mashing,
but you're right. It's they concentrate on the fun of it, I think. You know.
yeah. And I think it's because of that they pretty much all they won the console war back in the 80s, and it's just a fight for second place between Sony and whoever else. So I
Hmm.
say all that to say this: when they announced the Switch 2, the games are going to be more expensive. The system with Mario Kart, the next Mario Kart World, I think it's called, which is awesome, is $500. A lot of people are oh, this is bad, this is not going to sell, or this is trash, like what's wrong with Nintendo. And then here we go, they go to pre-order it and you can't get one. um that just goes to show you, if the internet's like a petri dish for negativity, it just breeds it. But when it comes to putting your money where your mouth is, I
Yep.
mean, obviously people are putting their money on the Switch too. As I actually wanted to pre-order one, but I freaking dropped the ball on that one. So we'll see how Santa gets that in his sleigh. This Xmas might be difficult. Um, but yeah, we're all gonna buy it. We're all gonna love it. We're all gonna have fun. It's gonna be quality.
Yep.
And so there you have it. So I just wanted to bring that up real quick. Kind of a I told you so for me to the world at large. Not that that does any sort of good. We do have a comment on this particular subject. Kasan says, Don, do you think Nintendo would make more money if they transitioned to a game publisher only? Um, they may make more money in the short term, but I think without Nintendo ensuring the quality of the hardware, that they would lose market share. I think that that is one of the things that's paramount when it comes to Nintendo is how well the games and the systems and the accessories work. And I think that has a lot to do with them being proprietary to one another. But there are third party games for the Nintendo. Um, but again, Nintendo makes sure that all that stuff is very polished and working, and I appreciate that really more. As a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of time, is quite often the victim of sitting down after a day of work and dishes and dinner and with the kids and getting them to bed, and you plop your ass down. All right, I'm gonna play this game, and then, fuck, I gotta wait a half hour, 45 minutes for an update. Like, but I could go to the Switch and pop in some Mario Kart, and boom, you know, we're off to the races.
Yep. That's right.
So, absolutely. Kasan says, do you think the Switch is more polished than the PS5? Uh, Let me think here because I have both, but I use both for dramatically different reasons. Again, the Switch is more of the family couch co-op multiplayer family fun machine. PS5 is I don't even say my RPG machine because Armored Core is not an RPG and Marvel Rivals is not an RPG. So um that's a hard question. I guess I would say that I have more faith in the Switch being polished at all times. Um But I certainly have no complaints against the PS5. I do. I mean, I like my PS5.
I have neither. You know, actually, I just thought of something. I bought an Atari, um, build Atari console thing, but it's like this big. I got it for
Yeah,
$10 at a Comic Con, and it looks like a little Atari system, but like all the the wooden look, and it's got the joysticks and
yeah,
that, but and it's got like 100 games in it, and I was completely happy with it. Because
yeah,
that's my speed. I'm so
yeah.
used to that, and the stuff that
That's funny. Well, it's just funny you mentioned the wood grain, and like I'm just thinking back to like back in the day, you used to have like in order to pause the game, there was just like a toggle switch
yeah,
on the system to pause. Super different world.
yeah, I remember all that
Um,
for sure. Oh, here it is. I even have this,
oh wow, that
but
is.
and it works. It literally worked. It has the same sound effects, and you can play the game little. You know, it's kind of cool. So it doesn't take much.
Yeah,
It really doesn't take much for me. But I digress.
yeah. I digress indeed. Yeah, I'm still a gamer, big time. All right, so we got some other comments here. Thrawn says they're not giving any good reason to replace the one my son has now. Yeah, I can't say that. Again, I wanted to get my hands on a system for my family. One thing that sold me though is that the games and the accessories, or at least most of the games, and most of the accessories, particularly the Joy Cons, at which we have invested a lot of money in, are compatible. It's backwards compatible. So with that in mind, I was like, okay, hell yeah, we'll get the new system, you know, and we'll be ready for the next round. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mario Kart World looks awesome. We're huge Mario Karts fan here in this family, so I guess having the Mario Kart World does excite. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I got enough reason to replace that. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and be done with the news, the video game news. There looks like Thrawn and Kasan
Yeah. For those
got
one
their own sidebar.
for those wondering why I keep moving around, I'm using my phone for this.
Yeah, we had some technical difficult. We had some
It,
technical
on the
difficulties.
plus side, it makes me look really tall.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's okay. I'll just do this. How's that? Okay.
Well, listen, I mean, we're almost at a full hour here, but I guess before we go, it is Thunderbolts Eve. So, Tim, are you going to go see that this weekend?
Oh, it's funny. I rushed down here because I just finished buying my tickets.
Oh, no, okay.
So we're gonna see it Friday night, 7 o'clock show, and I'm made sure that I didn't. I only watched the initial trailer, and I haven't looked at anything else. So I want to be completely,
Okay.
So now I have an idea, but I only saw, like they show a couple of scenes or whatever. Um, Bucky with the car coming down the street, and he gets it with his arm,
Yeah.
splits it in half or over him, and a couple other things they showed Sentry, I think. But
Yeah.
other than that, I just
Void.
gonna go in cold, blind. And I just read today that there's two credit scenes,
Yep.
um, and that's it for that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to them. I'm all fanboying out about it. So
Yeah, man, I'm definitely getting that energy too. I have watched one video of a review from IGN from someone that saw it, and Um, you know, it wasn't like a glowing review, but it still seemed like it was a worthwhile time. So yeah, I have that same fanboy energy going on. And Thrawn says, I want to see which one of the team takes Taskmaster to task. So yeah, I know Tim, you're saying that you've only seen the one trailer. But I will say that at no point have we seen any sign of Taskmaster, who we know is going to be like starting on the team, but the prevailing theory is that she's not going to last long, which to
Oh,
me is fine because I hate the MCU Taskmaster. I consider their version to be an abomination of the character. Not that I'm like super fanboy about Taskmaster, but I know of Taskmaster. I know of like kind of what makes him special, and they've just yeah, they just
yeah, maybe
pissed
she's
on that.
up to the task.
Yeah, right.
And
Uh,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think maybe if they do it the right way, then it'll be effective. But I don't know.
do you?
I'm a little apprehensive about some of that stuff, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, oh
Because
yeah. No, I'm right there with you because I really don't care about any of these characters. That's one big problem that I have is that I tend to want to follow the A-listers, and this is definitely not a team of A-listers. Although, given his history with the MCU, okay, Bucky, okay, he's there.
yeah,
Sentry is very interesting. Sentry in the Void. In fact, I guess the most interesting aspect about this movie is how are they going to defeat the Sentry or
yeah.
like the Void?
There's nobody really all powerful in their group,
Yeah,
So I think it's gonna have to be the old everybody team up, And
yeah,
even if that's gonna be enough, um, maybe he turns out to be an ally as opposed to the antagonist. But I mean, I'm glad they're bringing someone in that's powerful that we haven't seen before, you know.
yeah,
But and the other thing I wanted to point out is that this whole group is they've all been like in each other's movies, so to speak.
yeah.
So some Black Widows, some Wasp and Ant Man and the Wasp, and
Mhm.
what else? I forget what other. I'm trying to think of the other movies that. Oh, Falcon and Winter Soldier and
Yep.
all that stuff. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be
movies and shows.
cool. Yeah,
I'm hoping I definitely have some hopes for this movie. I'm hoping we actually do get to see either or Red Hulk or Deadpool. Just because as far as Thunderbolts comics, and the team being named Thunderbolts after Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, I
yeah.
just will kind of give it a side eye if he's not in it. And it still has an asterisk too. So
Why do you think that there's a chance that they might be in it? At least Red Hulk.
I hope so. I don't know about Deadpool. That would just be cool. And like I said on the last podcast, though, if it were me, Deadpool would be in it because I need to make money. And if we've seen anything,
Yeah,
want to make money, put Deadpool in it. Um, but to me, I the, I think I at least think Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross should have something to do with it. But again, they've got the asterisk in the movie title, so who knows,
yeah.
what they could pull. Because
Well,
I almost think at the end of the movie, they're going to be, because, they mentioned the Avengers, or we're not the Avengers. So I almost think at the end of the movie or whatever, someone's going to come along and be like, no, you are Avengers. You're the Dark Avengers, and then
right, right. Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
it'd be the best kept secret, that they a lot of these things, you didn't want to know that this particular character was going to be in there. You wanted to be surprised. So I hope
Yeah.
that they haven't shown it as far as in the trailers and stuff. So it would be cool that all of a sudden we do see a surprise and see at least Thaddeus, if not um, Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Deadpool, I completely don't see it, but maybe in the credit scenes. I don't know. Could go anywhere, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I am looking forward to it, though. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I really do. I enjoy that feeling. That we're going to see a Marvel movie here this weekend. Thrawn says, "Hey, you guys are doing a great job." Well, thank you.
Cool.
Hassan adds, "The MCU has the most powerful superhero plot armor. That's not mutually exclusive to the MCU, there, pal. But you're not wrong. But you're not wrong."
Um,
And I don't know the answer to this. From Thrawn, Sentry was the Bob character from Top Gun Maverick, right? I only saw that once and didn't take that many notes, so I don't remember the Bob character. But I bet you're right because you're a smart man.
yeah, I don't know the answer to that one. Superpower is keeping characters alive to generate money.
Yeah, because yep, that's what the comic industry is all about. There, keeping them alive, right? Kassan, or no, I'm sorry, Thronkill. I where the Thunderbolts name comes from in the movie. I wonder where the Thunderbolts. I'm sure is what he wanted to say. I wonder where the Thunderbolts name comes from in the movie. Yeah, I do too. I do too. I mean, I know that it looks like Red Guardian has something to do with that name, but yeah, we'll see where he gets it from. Speaking of the Red Guardian, by the way, so again, I'm very biased against street level or C tier characters, whatever, which I consider Red Guardian and most of these characters to be. But I will say it's one of those rare instances, and it's happened before, obviously, but it's one of those rare instances where we do get an actor, or at least writer actor team, that's making one of those characters stand out. And that is the Red Guardian. I did enjoy him in the Black Widow movie, although that movie in itself was like meh, but he was a highlight to me. And I like what I'm seeing so far in this movie. So I think most of the
Definitely,
laughs are going to come.
he's definitely a comic relief.
Yeah.
Um, so I really liked Black Widow. you know,
Oh, you like that Black Widow movie?
yeah, I did. I really did. I mean, there were spots that I was kind of like, eh. And then Taskmaster kind of ruined it for me. Um,
Yeah.
but I did like it. I did like the introduction of Yelena because I really like her character. I think she's funny. We saw her in Hawkeye, and in that. So I'm really looking.
Yeah. Speaking of C tier, she's like like, I don't know, like W tier. But in the MCU, great character. Everybody loves her.
Yeah, yeah, she's funny too. I like her. That's one thing I like about most the MCU movies. They're not afraid to inject humor. You know,
Yeah.
me being the guy that writes humor, I look for it, and I watch these movies, and I want to make sure that the jokes land, make sure the humor lands right.
Yeah.
So, um, but I can't wait. And I hope they have
Yeah.
popcorn holders that,
Uh,
or at least cups. This theater that I go to, they've been missing it the past couple times. So
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Captain America movie with Falcon in it that just came out, they were missing it. I wanted
Yeah.
the popcorn holder with the wings and the shield, but so
Yeah, that's a big phenomenon these days now, the popcorn bucket. Which
yeah,
all started with the fucking Dune bucket, because people made various jokes
That
And
was
then
yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine came out with, the fucking Wolverine blowjob bucket. But yeah, but now everybody looks for the bucket. So yeah.
The Dune bucket was the one that stole the show. You think that in the proctologist's office on the counter was
Yeah.
your rectum,
Yeah.
this is your rectum on roughage, but the rectum roughage cup, that's what it was. Yeah.
The rectum roughage, right? Like a mutated sarlacc or something. Thrawn Kill, America's ass. What did we mention? Captain America? Actually, maybe Hydra's ass now, if we listen to the rumors. Chris Evans might be returning
Ooh,
as Captain Hydra. So we'll see. Could happen in this movie. So I don't know.
I'm gonna interject something real quick.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom is Tony Stark. Okay, continue. That's my.
Yeah. Oh,
I just have MCU in my brain right now, and I had to say that. So
yeah. I'm not really looking forward to that. But I'm open to them still somehow pulling it off. Just don't make him Victor Von Doom. Make Tony Stark Doctor Doom. Make it a variant, and I'll be okay.
yep, mark my
Um,
word. That's all I'm saying. Right here, you heard it now on Superheroes Speak. I'm making a prediction. So
all
there it
right,
is.
well, let's keep tabs on that. What are you doing Sunday night? You busy?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Um. Well,
we're in
free
junk time now.
Saturday, Sunday is a possibility.
Okay, I may hit you up. I'm interested to hear your perspective on the movie. So, and
So
we'll also
I
although
have
we will be doing probably Andor spoiler talk, so I don't know if you can get an hour and a half Star Wars movie in between now and then with all that going on. But we'll see.
Andor. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I guess they gave you a choice, Andor. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
go.
Andor or dinner.
Well, when you name something, you gotta really think Andor. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we have
Andor.
up in Maine. I live in Rhode Island, so up in Maine, they have Bangor, so they give you a choice.
Okay. Bangor, Maine. Yeah, yeah,
Bangor, you know, the other way. So I'm
yeah.
going on tangent. Sorry.
Oh no, that's well no, this is we're about the end of the show here, but I definitely wanted to talk to you about a couple things just off kilter here. So first of all, so you totally like we're doing the New York Comic Con thing.
Is,
So I mean you did yeah,
is that?
I mean I'm okay, I mean we don't have the press things yet, but we'll get them.
Yeah,
We'll get them. I'm going.
when we're finished here, we'll talk for a minute about it.
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to ask you
Yes,
is
I love questions.
have you ever considered drawing for a comic? Like, has anyone ever come to you like, hey, I got this idea, but I don't draw or I have any artist ability
I,
whatsoever?
I actually had someone ask me at Super Jersey last weekend,
Oh, okay.
to do funny. They showed me a picture of their dog, and they want to do like not a picture book, but like a so no panels like a comic book. So it would be like a kid's book with
Hmm.
the dog barking at nothing. I guess that's the funny part about their dog's personality is he barks a lot and barks at nothing, barks at something stupid, so on and so forth. So it'd be
Yeah.
page would be just the dog and saying, barking, and there'd be some text or whatever. So I started just sketching up their dog, kind of turning him into cartoony, which is what I do. And but as far as a comic book goes, I wouldn't even know where to begin. You know,
Yeah, you telling me? Yeah,
I and as far as putting one together, I just you know, I start like this. This week's hasn't even come out yet. I'm putting it up tonight, but this is how I start out,
yeah,
and then it turns into this. So, but as far as that's that's where I stop, and then I can't go
yeah,
right. Um, I met some incredible artists this past weekend. I just can't even explain to you. Some of the work that I saw was just amazing, you know, and comparing it to what I do, it's like apples and oranges, you know. My
yeah.
my job is to make people laugh. These guys make people just go, "Wow," you know.
Right on. So it's definitely a different uh mindset altogether.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
It has come to mind, but I just never have
yeah.
had the opportunity to dive into something like that. Even I don't even know if I would, you know. But
Yeah, I bet you it's definitely difficult, but yeah, I always just wondered if anyone ever came to you with an idea and said we want you to be our artist for this 5 book run here. But it definitely is probably a lot of work. And again, yeah, someone like me doesn't even know where to begin. So if you don't, it's all the more difficult. Um, is that what you do? I mean, Tim, is that what you do full time? Do you have any other like gig, or I mean, are you like you pay the mortgage on your drawings? Like, not to get too personal or too TMI, but
no,
any aspiring?
I what I say to that is that this is a full-time job. What I do
Right
with
on.
so I do supplement my income in other ways, um, with other work that I do, but it doesn't pay the bills completely. Let's put it that way. Um, but someday it will. Is something
Yeah.
I'll know more at the end of this week uh, for something that I probably will announce. Um, it's not super significant, but it is to me. So,
Yeah.
and but I got to kind of keep it hush hush right now. I can tell you about it after we're done as well, but it's kind of cool. But that's on the horizon. I think this is going to be my year. I really do.
All
Of
right.
course, I said the same thing last year, but
It'll come true one time.
yeah, it's on
Well,
its way. It's on its way. So I'm not worried about it. Let's put it that way.
all right. Well, here we are, man. It's approaching bedtime.
That's it.
So we'll put a pin in it right there. That's it. That's that. We made it over an hour. We didn't even talk about too much. But that's just how it goes.
That's all right. It
How
was
it goes.
fun, you know,
Yeah, good fun. Good fun.
for having me on.
So yeah, no, thanks for coming on. Otherwise, it would just be probably me here arguing with my good buddies Thrawn and Kasan. So thank you guys for chatting tonight, and thank you Thrawn for being a member. And won't be on Discord tonight, but definitely should be getting on there maybe tomorrow or the next day. But that's it. That's it for Superhero Speak on this Wednesday, Hump Day edition. So hope everyone has a good rest of your work week if you were fortunate enough to work. But yeah, make sure and like and subscribe. Love the engagement. So, let us know what you thought of our topics. Are you enjoying Andor? Are you liking the dark tone of this series? Are you super, super into the Voltron Henry Cavill stuff like I am? Did you get your Switch 2 pre ordered? And let us know what you thought of Thunderbolts after this weekend. All right. We will see you soon.
And I'm gonna do that too. 2 and 2, Chuck Woolery. Got it.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting for? Visit our merch store.